Welcome to BD Daily Tech News Podcast, your daily briefing on tech and innovation. It's 2026, March 2nd, and today we're talking about the stuff that actually makes AI feel fast, the cables, the chips, and the services that sometimes fall over.
So, the glamorous side of AI, not the robot writing poetry, the robot tripping over an Ethernet cable and face-planting in front of your boss.
Exactly. 3 stories. Nvidia investing $4 billion in data center optics companies, Apple upgrading iPad Air to M4 at the same starting price, and Anthropic's Claude going down amid what they called unprecedented demand.
Today's theme is, your AI is only as smart as its weakest dependency, which is usually everything.
Story 1. Nvidia agreed to invest $4 billion in 2 companies that develop data center optics. Think high-speed optical links that move data between GPUs and servers. The headline here is not just more AI, it's more bandwidth, because training and serving models is increasingly bottlenecked by data movement, not raw compute.
So Nvidia is basically saying, we sold you the engines, now we're buying the highways, because the GPUs are screaming, and the network is like, best I can do is a 2-lane road.
And that's a perfect analogy. Optics matter because inside modern AI clusters, GPUs have to synchronize constantly: parameters, gradients, activations. If the interconnect is slow or power-hungry, you waste expensive GPU time waiting. Nvidia putting real money into optics signals they want tighter control over the full stack of AI infrastructure.
Actionable question for normal people. Does this make my chatbot faster? Or does it just make data centers even more terrifyingly efficient at turning electricity into autocomplete?
In the near term, it mostly helps the providers: faster training cycles, lower per-token serving cost, and better utilization. Over time, that can translate to cheaper or more capable AI features for users, especially for real-time tools like voice assistants, coding copilots, and on-demand video or image generation where latency is obvious.
For developers, the takeaway is, your model choice isn't the whole story. Your user experience is also the network path, the region, the queue, and whether your vendor is having a feelings day.
Practical move. If you run AI workloads, start measuring end-to-end latency and throughput like a product metric, not an infrastructure footnote. And if you're building multi-GPU or multi-node systems, treat networking, switches, NICs, optical modules as first-class design decisions.
Fiber in a warehouse to glass rectangle in your hands. Apple time. Everyone take a sip of water before we say the letter M too many times.
Story 2. Apple's iPad Air gets an M4 upgrade while keeping the same starting prices: $599 for the 11-inch and $799 for the 13-inch model. The simple version is, same product tier, newer chip, aiming at more headroom for demanding apps and Apple's push toward AI-flavored workflows.
I love when Apple says same price, like it's a public service. Meanwhile, my accessories drawer is a museum of dongles that all cost $50 each.
What matters technically? M-series jumps usually bring CPU and GPU improvements, plus media engines and neural acceleration that can speed up on-device tasks. Even if you don't care about AI, you'll feel it in things like photo editing, video exports, multitasking, and keeping apps responsive over a longer ownership window.
So the iPad Air is trying to become the I'm not a laptop, but I play one on TV device. The question is, who should actually upgrade? Because my current tablet mostly runs email, recipes, and emotional support spreadsheets.
Actionable rule: upgrade if your current iPad struggles with your top 2 workflows, like creative apps, heavy note-taking with lots of PDFs, or you're doing video calls while multitasking. If you mostly browse, stream, and message, the experience difference may be subtle, and battery health plus storage matter more than peak chip performance.
And if you're buying new, same price plus newer chip usually means the previous model becomes the budget hero, unless it disappears instantly like concert tickets.
Now, let's move from device performance to service reliability, because even the fastest chip can't fix an API that's down.
Story 3 is basically, Claude said BRB, and the internet said, no, come back, I have a deadline and no original thoughts.
Anthropic's Claude and related consumer-facing apps went down, with the company saying it's been grappling with unprecedented demand over the past week. The core issue is classic capacity planning. If usage spikes faster than your compute, networking, or internal service limits, you get failures, timeouts, rate limits, or full outages.
It's like inviting the entire neighborhood to dinner because you said you make pretty good pasta, then realizing you own one pot and three forks.
For everyday users, the takeaway is simple. Don't rely on one AI tool for critical work. For teams, it's more specific. Build a fallback plan. That can mean multiple model providers, cached responses for common prompts, offline drafts, and a policy for what happens when the AI layer is unavailable.
So like, if the AI goes down, you still ship. Radical. Also, can we normalize status pages as bedtime reading? Nothing relaxes me like elevated error rates.
If you're a developer integrating these tools, implement timeouts, retries with backoff, and graceful degradation. For example, if summarization fails, show the original content and a note, not a broken UI. And log model errors separately from your app errors, so you can tell whether you broke something or your vendor did.
Today's moral: Nvidia is buying the highways, Apple is upgrading the car engine, and Claude reminded everyone the road can still be closed for construction.
Quick recap for 2026 March 2nd. Nvidia's $4 billion optics investment highlights AI's networking bottlenecks. Apple's iPad Air jumps to M4 at the same $599 and $799 starting prices. And Claude's outage shows why reliability and fallback plans matter. If you got value, subscribe and drop a comment. Which AI tool do you want us to stress test next? Features, privacy posture, or reliability?
And if your AI app is down right now, congratulations! You're about to rediscover the ancient technology known as thinking. See you tomorrow.